Every 3 years I go through this. Intuit kills QuickBooks unless you buy an upgrade. I have a problem. That is, every 3 years, Intuit forces you into an upgrade or they shut off all your services. That's if you use QuickBooks. And if you're not familiar with QuickBooks, it's a small business accounting program that I've used for many, many years. You got to take care of finances, right? You got to create quotes, invoices, purchase orders, all kinds of stuff that you do with this thing, not including things like payroll and taxes, sales tax. So it becomes kind of the heartbeat of the business. But here's the problem. I think so many of us, when we start a business, especially if you're the chief cook and bottle washer and sole employee, you really kind of fail to plan for the long term. When I started this company, originally I was going to keep it small deliberately. I just wanted it to be me, no employees, but we grew. I've been the only one in the business that's still able to take care of creating the quotes, converting them to invoices when somebody wants to buy. I take care of receiving the payments via credit cards, check, etc., deposit those into the bank. I also create purchase orders from our vendors for retail. I make sure the vendors get paid, collect the state sales taxes when appropriate. I've been the one doing all this. And now that we have people working for us and contractors, subcontractors, employees, it's getting to the point that I want to be able to free up my time to be able to do other things, including taking a well-deserved vacation. And with QuickBooks, I'm now at this fork in the road, what to do with being able to have other people do these things and entrust other people to do these things. And more importantly, how they access the data, especially when they're all remote. And I've come across several options, none of which are ideal, but some are better than others. This requires a whole lot of thought because it's going to require that I hire somebody to take care of the book work, and then I entrust other people to handle other things. In other words, I'm going to have to delegate. So I need to be able to allow my sales manager, for example, to create quotes, generate invoices, create purchase orders for product, and allow them to do that remotely. And I have a couple of choices. I can do QuickBooks Online, or I would maybe create a VPN connection to the office and buy them a license. Or third, I can use Windows Terminal Services and run QuickBooks in that kind of session. Also give access to a bookkeeper as well. But one thing I can't do anymore is just keep my book work on premise and me only one doing it. And that's been a dilemma. Setting the business up to where I don't have to be here to run it day in and day out is now my chief goal for this year. And I intend to make it happen. But man, oh man, it's really a challenge figuring out everything that I need to do to make that happen. So it's a Sunday afternoon. I'm getting ready to go take some video just around the city of Decatur, Indiana. The world famous Decatur. No, it's not. Just kidding. But I thought it'd be kind of good to insert a little bit of footage of the small town that I live in. Hopefully I won't get stopped by the police or, somebody calling the police on me, or stopped by somebody that's very worried that I'm taking a video of them. You've got to be very careful here in the Midwest in a small town. I know I've said this a gazillion times, but it's not like New York City or Chicago where people just mind their own business. Here they make your business their business. So, but I thought it'd still be interesting to try to include a little bit of video of Decatur, Indiana. Look at this. This is the Ford F-150 XLT. Nice looking truck. But let's come over and look at the price on this thing. $44,000 for a pickup truck. This is the new car. They've kind of turned trucks into cars. Yep. Oh, here we go. 4x4. Whew. All right. Check it out. Was $52,000, now just $47,000. There's a steal. Whatever happened to the basic pickup truck? Another XLT. $51,000. Yeah, I don't see myself buying a pickup truck anytime soon, that's for sure. I think one of the hardest things about being a content creator on YouTube is coming up with unique ideas for videos on a regular basis. I think it's a hard thing for just about everybody, especially when you're trying to grow your channel and you're trying to make videos that appeal to what you think your audience wants. It's not so much about the hardware, it's not so much about your choice of video editing software. Most of them on the market are quite good and quite capable of producing, very professional looking videos. The real art is in the edit itself. Now, I'm self-taught and I'm still learning after even all these years of creating videos, because it's a never-ending process and you have to come up with putting a story together to take multiple clips and then put those together somehow in some type of story. But it's a process that I deeply enjoy, but I don't have a lot of time to do it. But it gets me into that creative zone. Even though I am primarily a business person in a occupation that is not related to creating content, this gives me the opportunity to explore that creative side. And I think it's something for me personally that not just something I want to do, but I feel like I need to do for my own well-being as a person. I was brought into the workforce being a numbers guy in finance and in banking, and the kind of creativity there is much different than the kind of need or creativity that I feel I need to express by creating content, if that makes any sense. I mean, I have like no musical talent whatsoever. I'm not particularly athletic nor into sports all that much. I can't really draw or paint. I can write and I can put together video, but this gives me a chance to get out of that business zone, gives me a chance to tell a story and do that through editing. And that's what's important. It's all about creating a story that you will enjoy, that you will find something of value in, and in turn, it gives me the chance to interact with you and learn what kind of stories you like. So many people get hung up on the gear, the cameras, the lenses, the computer, the software, the lighting, the audio, that maybe it's not the most important thing. The most important thing, I think, is sitting down with the clips and putting them together in a story. Actually, this is where the story comes to life. And it's just a good diversion for me to get away from that whole much more very logical, productive, numbers-driven, results-oriented type of work I do for my primary business. And it just gives me a chance to express myself. And I really feel frustrated at times that all this cool stuff wasn't available to me 20, 30 years ago. That would have been amazing. And I really hope that younger people, take advantage of all this stuff to create. You can now create in ways we would have never dreamed possible back in, the 70s and 80s. To produce video in the 80s, you would have had to have millions of dollars of equipment and not even achieve anywhere close to the kind of results that we can on a shoestring budget. I just want you all to know that I appreciate when you watch my videos and understand that this is so much of a hobby for me. It is my zen, my sanctuary. I'm not looking to make a living at this per se. Eventually I'm going to retire. I'm going to focus more on video and photography and kind of ramp that up. But I do make a few bucks at it, but this is just kind of my zen, if you will. I can just really get into the zone when editing. And maybe I'll start doing some other videography down the road, but for right now, these videos are my escape. Yeah, there's a new place in town called Casey's. I hear they got excellent pizza. So I'm going to grab a slice for me and my wife. And look at that motorhome over there. There is money on the. There is a lot of money sitting right there. Probably looking about $300,000 or $400,000. Ultimately, I should end this having a cup of coffee. So this is the new version of Coffee Break, and a lot of you liked it. So I hope you enjoyed it. This was really about one concept, one business concept, which is if you're not careful in the very beginning on how you structure your business and really think it through about things like adding employees at some time, growth, being able to operate the business without actually being there. Do the work in the very beginning and you really won't regret it. It may cost a little more and it might take a little bit more time in the beginning, but it'll save you so much hassle going down the road. Think about it. You want to build something of value that you'll be able to sell or leave to your family in case something happens to you, and you want to build something of real value, then you really need to design it to be such from the very beginning. And I hope you enjoy this. I'm going to try to do one of these once a week, and we're going to take a business topic and how I deal with it, and maybe offer some advice, and maybe you'll find some of these suggestions helpful. So welcome to Coffee Break, the new version of Coffee Break. I'll talk to you later. Have a good week ahead.